Hey, what's up, everyone? Ryan Arnold, aka Demon Master Reviews, as I'm now putting on my little battle vest here. And welcome to episode 1 of my 2023 review series. This is for January, and I believe it also is one of the last days for January, so perfect time to do it. This was originally going to be on Friday. Unfortunately, I had to delay it. Unfortunately, but better late than never. So obviously, I'm going to be talking about 5 albums on here, of which I actually own now, since I recently did get it recently. But yeah, on all of different genres and styles, pretty much. So let's get started here. We start off with the first the first album, Ahab's The Coral Tombs. This is released on January 13th of this year, 2023, via Napalm Records. And if you're not aware of who they are a funeral / nautic doom metal. They're mostly funeral doom, but they have a nautical sea theme to them. As with the case with this album as well, this happens to be a concept album. This is about the book and movie 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And it's a really cool concept. And I've grown up watching that movie 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as a kid, and I have very fond memories of that movie. And yeah, obviously that is the concept of this. Obviously, like I said, the music is pretty much of that funeral doom style, slow, the death metal vocals and stuff. But there's also some traditional doom here and there in certain songs. Even for one song, a death metal beginning for the song, and it's a long one. Professor Aronnax's Descent into the Vast Oceans, which the beginning of that song has some death metal in it. I was like, wait, that's interesting. Death metal? Regular death metal at the beginning? And then they got back into normalcy, into like the doom metal, the funeral doom, the slowness and all that stuff, and the bleakness of it. But it does have some other great songs on here, like Colossus of the Liquid Graves, Agrisomnia, yeah, it's got some of that, like I said, traditional doom moments. Maybe I think some of those might have some traditional doom moments. Not death metal, because the opening track has death metal. But these two, probably more traditional doom in some cases, where it's more of like that classic doom and stuff. But there is the funeral doom on this album. But overall, love the album. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely worth it. I might get it at some point, but it's not at the moment. I probably won't get it immediately, but at some point down the road, I will definitely get it. But next up, we got an album that I do happen to own. Obituaries, Dying of Everything. This is released on January 13th, 2023 via Relapse Records. And originally, as I scoot back, I only wanted to get this because of this excellent artwork done by the late, great Mariusz Lewandowski. And it is spectacular, as you can look at that. Whew! And on here, I have the inners. When you unfold it up, there is a tribute to Mariusz. It says, album art by Mariusz Lewandowski, 1960 to 2022. Thank you for everything. And of course, it comes on. My vinyl comes on this gold nugget variant, limited to 1,000 copies, as stated right there. Pretty much. But obviously, if you're not aware of who Obituary is, Um, Death metal, one of those that pioneers, kind of a first wave death metal, where in that sense it's more of like, and I have them written down. There is some moments on here that sound like death metal, but for most part, I think early on the songs sound like they have a little bit of a more of a thrashy sounding. But I guess that's kind of what death metal was in the 80s, because that's where they were around. They were around in the 80s, early 90s, the 80s, early 90s, and stuff like that. And it sounds much more like thrash metal than it does death metal. The vocals sound a little bit much raspier. There's not many of the or the screams and the growls and stuff like that. It's much more of a kind of a raspier vocal style from, who is it? I believe it says done by John Tardy. Hey, oh, and Terry Butler's on here. Probably one of my favorite bands. It's only the second album I've ever had from. The other one is 6 Feet Under Brigham Young. I might talk about that in a random review. But anyway, Die of Everything. Much more of a thrash sound. Not so much of a death metal sound, but much more of a thrash sound. Because I guess that's, being this is my first time listening to these guys and just wanting to get this album because of the artwork. And I'm just like, you know what? Well, I'll listen to this because I am going to probably review it. And yeah, when I first listened, it sounds so much like a thrash stuff. The vocals are much more raspier. There's not so much. There is some, but early on it's more of a raspier vocals. There's some of the growls and stuff like that. There is some more traditional death metal sound, but for the most part, it's much more of a thrashier sound. But overall, love it. Some songs I like. I like War. I like the title track. Those just stand out to me in a way. I was like, holy shit, these sound great. Great. Others like My Will to Live. That's the first two on this. The first two on side two. My Will to Live and By the Dawn. You know, great. But obviously the early stuff of Barely Alive, The Wrong Time, Without a Conscience, very thrashier sounding pretty much. But for the most part, love the album. I give it a 9. Usually I don't give a death metal album that high of a score or sometimes like this. But maybe at some point, if I listen to this again, I definitely will give it maybe a better rating or something like that. Maybe a 9.25 or a 9.5, maybe. But for now, it's a 9 out of 10. Love the hell of it. Love War and the title track. And are great. And I'd say definitely check this album out. Next one. I recently listened to this one. Catatonia's Sky Void of Stars. This was released on January 20th, 2020 of this year via Napalm Records. And their gothic metal, the doom melodic metal. But obviously with this, I also heard some prog death in here. Like I'm hearing some Soilwork. Hell, I'm even hearing some of the stuff like the song Austerity. Austerity sounds so much like Opeth, like classic Opeth. Like I hear in there the Leper Affinity and the Funeral Portrait, you know, from Blackwater Park. I wish I could grab it. Hold on. Yeah, from this, hold on, put my earbuds in. But yeah, from this album, yeah, pretty much it sounds so much like those songs. It's crazy that those are immediately jumped to mind when I was listening to Austerity. It was like, holy crap, I hear Opeth influences here. Awesome. The rest of the album is fantastic. It's damn near close to a 10. To a 10 with, you know, there's other great songs on here. You know, I like Colossal Shade, Opaline. Thought Draftbirds was the name of the song, but turns out they didn't include another song called Author on here. Impermanent sounded great. You know, every song on here sounds great. I think I'm trying to figure out why I'm not giving it a 10 or something like that. Or something like that, you know? But, maybe the production. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to give this a 9.75 out of 10. Probably definitely going to be in my top, you know, all that stuff. It will definitely be up there easily. Easily. But yeah, 9.75 Catatonia, Sky Voyage Stars. Definitely at some point we'll get it. Just not right now. No. But yeah, drink a little bit of my coffee. Next one we got Uriah Heep's Chaos and Color. This was released on January 27th of 2023 via Silver Lining Music. First time I've ever listened to this band. If you don't know, you probably been living on rock, which is get out of that rock. They are a prog rock legends that were formed in 1969. Yeah, they've been around a long time. They've been around almost 55 years, to say the least. But yeah, it's pretty much, there is some prog here. Like the songs, I think, Freedom to Be, You'll Never Be Alone, One Nation, One Sun, have our more in the 7 to 8 minute songs. But for the most part, it's pretty much classic hard rock, pretty much. Really great. Save Me Tonight is a great song. Love the hell of it. Hurricane's a pretty cool song, too. To pretty much all of them are around the 3 or 4 minute, maybe even 5 sometimes. I think there's some songs on here that were like around the 5 minute mark. I can't remember which ones. But yeah, One Nation, One Sun, You'll Never Be Alone, and Freedom to Be Free were around the 7 to 8 minute mark songs. But now that I find out it's around in the prog stuff, I'm probably, I may give it a 9.75. I don't know. But I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. Great album, great classic rock, classic prog rock, all that stuff. If you want to definitely check them out. If you haven't been a fan of them, I definitely say check this out. Or any of the classic stuff they've done in the past. Yes, that's pretty much, that's what they do pretty much. Pretty much classic rock, prog rock, all that stuff. Definitely check out Uriah Heep. And definitely check out Chaos and Color. And then finally, the final one in this first 2023 review series. We got Steve Vai's Vi and Gash. This was released on the same day as the Uriah Heep album, January 27th, via Favorite Nation / Mascot label group. Pretty much the same label as Ayreon. Pretty much. Pretty much listening to this, and he said he had this he kept this away from the public for over 30 years, and I can definitely tell this sounds so much like some of that 80s, 90s hard rock, blues rock, maybe some metal here and there, but definitely he described this as a biker album. Definitely, if you're a biker, you're definitely gonna need to jam to this easily. I know there's gonna be some people who watch this and are bikers, I'm not, unfortunately. I don't have a bike, unfortunately. And when I mean by bike, I mean a motorbike, motorcycle, all that stuff. Definitely that kind of music. Easily. All the songs are great. In the Wind, Busted, Let's Jam, Woman Fever, She Saved My Life Tonight, Danger Zone. Not to be confused with the Kenny Loggins song. New Generation and Flowers of Fire. All songs are great. Not too many are over that. They're short. The album is only 15 minutes, so I will say that. It's 15 minutes. 15 minutes. It's a short but fun album. All the songs are around 3 or 4 minute mark. Definitely a fun album. Giving this a 9 out of 10. Great album. You definitely check it out if you're into the biker music, biker rock, all that stuff. That's gonna pretty much do it. I definitely want to get you guys stay tuned for the second episode, because there's only going to be 4 albums in it. They're all gonna be bangers. We got In Flames' new album, Foregone. We got the new Godsmack album. I totally forgot what it was called. We got the new Hypnos and the new Insomnium. I believe it's called 1886. All those 4 are gonna be in the next 2023 review series episode. So that's will be episode 2. That's February. So yeah, I wanted to give you all a teaser of what albums will be in the next episode. That's going to be the thing with this. I'm going to reveal the albums that are going to be in the next video. So again, that'll be near the end of the month. So definitely check it out. But yeah, thank you all for watching the first episode of the 2023 album review series. If you enjoyed this, click the like button or the dislike button. Comment below what your thoughts are on these albums and bands. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. Yeah, that is going to do it. This has been episode 1 of my 2023 album review series. I will see y'all later. And as always, keep things metal and gaming. I will see y'all later.